Welcome to the Common Knowledge Software demonstration. This video will center on the Customer Service Representative interface and show you how, by providing call-specific information, you can not only increase your closing ratios and overall sales, but also accumulate vital data and statistics, permitting you to fine-tune your approach even further. Common Knowledge Software is a web-based application allowing any employee to connect to your CSR interface at any time and from anywhere. And if you use an answering service, they can also benefit from your most recently updated call scripts so they can tailor their approach to your customers the same way you would if you answered the call yourself. CKS allows you to convey consistency, continuity, and professionalism throughout the call experience, the three key indicators in your potential customer's decision-making process. It also will enhance the introduction of key peripheral products and services relevant to the customer's specific issue. And finally, it will provide you with a customized perspective on how your frontline is doing, how well your marketing is working, what needs to be improved, and what needs to be celebrated. So let's go ahead and introduce you to Common Knowledge Software, because none of us are as smart as all of us. Incoming calls. Within the reach of anyone with access to the internet, the CSR interface is completely customizable, allowing you to use familiar icons and terminology. It is designed to respond to any customer request quickly and efficiently, providing your CSR with the right responses to sometimes difficult questions. We will first go through a generic call session, one that of course is not customized with the way you presently answer your phones, but will still give you a very good idea of the capabilities of this application. Given the fact that you can customize absolutely everything, the responses provided would be based on your approach, your knowledge of your own customers, competitors, vendors, etc. So let's try it out. And remember, you have full autonomy over the scripts themselves to tailor as you see fit. The phone rings. Welcome to ABC Plumbing and Heating. My name is Mark. How may I help you? This is the incoming call screen. The scripted greeting is tailored to the way you prefer answering your calls, along with the CSR user information, merging it seamlessly within the scripts themselves. Below the greeting are instructions, text not to be repeated to the customer, but designed to guide the CSR along the way. We usually suggest this text be a different font size and color to clearly indicate a direction and not a script. The lower part of the screen represents the choices available to the CSR. In this case, we have a central text box where the specific customer issue or purpose of call can be entered. The icons represent the various types of calls to choose from, starting with a regular service call, a customer support call, a vendor or internal issue, or a personal call. Depending on which choice is selected, the appropriate follow-up script will be displayed. So let's continue. Welcome to ABC Plumbing and Heating. My name is Mark. How may I help you? You have no hot water. Your water heater is not working. Well, I'm sorry about the water heater not working, but you called the right place. We'll get that resolved for you as soon as possible. Have you ever used our company services before? What city are you in? Great, I have technicians close to Springfield right now. May I have your address, please? Notice that the caller's city is now part of the script. This allows you to further personalize the call experience while verifying data at the same time. Thank you, and is there a unit number? And the zip code is? May I have your last name? Now at this point in the conversation, the customer stops answering our questions and requests pricing information. This is a problem we all share since a certain percentage of people are weary of how much plumbers might charge, and their question about your pricing is one of, if not the main factor, in their decision to use your company or not. You cannot, of course, ask a CSR, or anyone for that matter, to accurately quote a job over the phone. However, you need to educate your customer on why that is, to ease their potential mistrust by providing a response that appeals to both their sense of reason and fairness. That's a pretty tall order for a standard CSR, but here's how you can take care of this particular issue in the best way possible, regardless of who is taking care of the call itself. This area on the right is a secondary display. It allows you to convey relevant information to your CSR in addition to your main script, information specific to the call at hand. For example, if your customer is calling about fixing a 20-year-old water heater, you may want your CSR to be privy to the advantages of a new water heater in regards to efficiency, energy, and cost savings. It can also provide your CSR with some insight into how the customer may be feeling, advising them to empathize with the caller or remind them to listen attentively. And finally, it can be used for quick access to answers to recurring questions, such as the one we're discussing, the pricing question. So when that question, or in fact any query, is initiated from your customer, your CSR must have access to a well thought of, consistent, and professional answer. There is an optimal way to deal with any situation. The problem is the consistent implementation of its solution in the workplace. At least it used to be a problem. Our service charge is only $39 to have our technician out to look at your problem. He will then give you a flat rate price for the work that needs to be done, and that $39 applies right to the cost of the job. If the person persists, you can further your explanation with a second pricing answer, and so on. Our service technicians charge by the job. The price depends on several things, such as the parts that are needed and how much labor is going to be involved. He will give you our flat rate price and get your approval before starting any work. If you decide not to have our technicians do the work, the service charge is only $39. A third answer is also available. Most of our customers prefer an accurate price based on our seeing the situation. Most phone quotes for anyone are inaccurate and change after the service technician sees the job. We feel that's not fair to our customers. If you allow us, we would like the opportunity to come by and see what it would take to get the job done. If you have exhausted your alternatives, you may elect to waive the service charge altogether. Let me check with my manager and see if I can waive that service charge. Okay, since we have several trucks in your area, he was able to waive that service charge for you. It's entirely up to you how you choose to deal with any given situation, but whatever the approach you choose, CKS can help you make sure that it's implemented across the board, regardless of who happens to answer the call. So let's continue. May I have your last name? And your first? May I have your phone number? Is there another number where you can be reached? And just to make sure I got it right, I have Paul Connor at 3051 Main Street in Springfield, Unit 3, 79090. Is that correct? Verification of all acquired information is done through the script itself. It will minimize errors and reassure the customer that you have all the information to initiate service. In the event there was a mistake, the CSR can easily navigate back to the specific question, modify the answer, and then return where they left off. Is this correct? And how were you referred to our company? The million-dollar question. Okay, maybe not a million, but thousands. For some of you, tens of thousands and even more. The reason why Common Knowledge Software was created in the first place was because you were all spending so much money on marketing, but when the time came to answer that expensive incoming call, no information was available to the CSR to deal with the call effectively. Knowing how much these marketing efforts are generating, or even perhaps how little, is essential knowledge to have, especially around renewal time. CKS asks that question and will then let you know not only the number of calls any one marketing effort generated, but more importantly, how many of those calls were actually booked. All of this with a few clicks of the mouse. And how were you referred to our company? Which search engine did you use to find us? Are you the homeowner? This question allows you to make sure the person responsible for payment is aware of your visit and available to pay the bill. And what is the name of the person making payment? And what's the best number to reach them at? So the person that will be on site to pay the bill is Ed Rogers and can be reached at 555-555-1234, correct? And what time would you like service? Thank you very much for calling. Our service charge to have our technicians out is only $39, which will apply towards the cost of the job. Someone will call you when a technician is on his way. Have a nice day. And finally, when the call is concluded, the CSR clicks on the call result. This is vital to the process, since it will define your marketing and call statistics as well as any other information you deem worthy of tracking. Once the call result is chosen, the information is saved in a session, ready to be analyzed to further enhance your approach. Since this preceding example was interrupted by constant explanation, let us show you how a typical call would take place.